What is going on? This is gonna be a semi-dark video. I am driving, but to get straight to the point, I am feeling called to start talking to my audience, is plural, way more, and just doing it. And every time I have something, or not every time, but most of the time I have something that I am feeling called to say to anyone. It's usually not only what they need, but it's also what I need at the same time. And that's usually why it works so well. Because I'm telling them exactly what I too need to hear and find myself responding to best. So I share that energetically. And right now, at this time in my life, it is really about showing up for yourself, and deciding what you want from your life and taking action upon that. I have fallen prey to, just not following through and being there for myself. And as a result, I'm not there for anyone else either, because I'm scared. And you could say it's being afraid to fail. You could say it's being afraid to create. You could say it's comparing yourself to other people, which it very well could be all of the above, and that list goes on, but I am starting to realize more and more and more as I uncover everything that I am, and the truest forms that we are all here to just create. And be ourselves and not compare ourselves to every other person outside of us. Like, every single person in the world has come here with a different set of gifts. And I have heard it from Carrie Green a lot. Just this past week, she says there's no really such thing as a unique message, but there is such thing as unique messengers, and that is exactly what we all are. However, we're all falling into this trap of trying to be like everyone else. And when we do that, we're comparing ourselves to everyone else as well. And when we compare ourselves to everyone else, we're not showing up and doing what we need to do that's true to us. And it's really, it can be easy to fall into this trap, yet it can also be hard if you're just doing all of the right things on a day-to-day basis and filling your time with value, and not staring at what other people are doing. It can be easy to stay on the right path, yet you're always being tested. And that's the hard part, because if you don't push yourself to do that thing that's different, if you don't push yourself to be a little bit more creative, and it's not, you shouldn't even have to push yourself to be creative, mind you, it just comes out of you, okay? But if we don't do these things that constantly test our own boundaries, we're gonna keep we're gonna keep comparing ourselves to everyone else that are around us. So a huge lesson that I just want to get across for me and for other people is to just be yourself, to just do it, and set boundaries and set goals for yourself and really decide what you want out of your life. Because if you don't decide, and if you don't start taking applicable steps of action to get to that place that you've decided you want to be, you're never going to make it. For a while, and we're all growing all the time. I will never stop growing. You will never stop growing. But there is a difference between people who do it actively and people who don't. And I was doing it actively every single day. And after I got through I had met my goals, certain goals, I had to create new ones. And that was the part that I didn't do. So I kept finding myself doing the same thing, going through the same motions, going to work every day, and I absolutely hated it. And it wasn't until recently that I decided I was going to start showing up for myself, and I'm going to decide that this is not the life that I'm going to live, and I have goals that I am going to achieve because I'm going to put myself out there and I'm going to create more, and I'm not going to be afraid to do it, you know? And I feel like anybody has the capability to be average, but not everyone has the capability to be excellent. And the difference is the people who constantly show up and work towards what they really want. You know, like, what is it? Do you want to have your own business? Do you want to be a millionaire? Do you want to change the world? And if so, how do you want to do it? You know, and how are you going to take steps every day to make sure that you can follow through with that mission? Like, if we're not checking ourselves, no one else is checking us. I think a big thing for me, and I know it will resonate with other people, is I felt like the world was just staring at my every move, and that ate at me for a while, and it was uncomfortable because I felt like there was just so much pressure to be perfect or so much pressure to do things without failing or do them very precisely or I'm gonna get judged, you know. And truth of the matter is, people are gonna judge you one way or another. Whether you do that shit perfectly or not, you're gonna get judged for it. And that was something that I had to, one, get over, and then two, I had to realize, wait, I don't think people are even looking at me the way that I think they're looking at me. The only person who has the capacity to look at me the way that I look at me and the way that I perceive is myself. And that can be the case it's usually the case for everyone. The way that you see it isn't how other people see it. And if you see it that way, odds are you're the one creating that circumstance, because why else would you be seeing it from that perspective? So you have to meet yourself and you have to ask yourself what's going on, and you have to face those demons that pop up when you're chasing those goals and you're fucking squashing some of your fears. When you're posting that thing that you didn't want to post because you were scared people were going to say something, like, you have to look at yourself and ask, why does it feel so bad? Why am I so scared? What am I hiding from? What am I running from? And when you do that, it's a phenomenal opportunity to say, I am deciding I don't want to do this anymore. I am deciding that I deserve more. I am deciding that I am worthy for myself. And that is enough, you know. And there are so many things that we can do on a day-to-day basis to make sure we stay in that flow. But the truth is, most people don't know how to stay in that flow because they're not doing the things every day that they need to be doing. You say you want one thing, but you're not doing anything within the day's work or the day's hours to even follow it through. How can you say you want to be a millionaire, but the things that you do every day are watch Netflix and fucking smoke weed? You know? And I'm not talking about myself, but I see it a lot. But there were things that I was doing that I was like, yo, how can I want so much for myself and I'm not showing up for me? And that changed my life when I decided I can't fucking do this shit anymore. I really can't. And I don't give a fuck who's watching. I don't give a fuck who says anything, because everyone's always going to have something to say one way or another, whether it's positive or whether it's negative. We just tend to focus on the things that we feel the most. So if I'm feeling negative and I'm feeling worthless and I'm not feeling worthy enough, when I post that thing, I'm going to only look for the negativity within that thing that I posted. I'm not going to see the positivity in it. So you need to show up for yourself. And you can't expect other people to make you feel the way that you're seeking, that you want to feel. And this is something that I am working on heavily, and it has made a phenomenal difference. One hell of a difference. And I have woke up every day feeling great because I'm choosing that I deserve to feel great. I'm choosing that I want more for myself. I am choosing that I don't want to go to a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life, because fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, whatever it is, You have to decide that it is time for yourself to show up. You have to, because no one else is going to do that for you. Not your parents, not your fucking cousins, not your friends, not the people on social media. And let me tell you, those people who have time to say something on social media aren't doing shit themselves. Nothing. If you have time to comment at what someone or on what someone else is doing, or if you have even time to sit on social media and scroll to even think someone is going to comment on something you're doing, you're not spending your time right. And you're not chasing after what you say you really want. And you're not going after what you really want because you're scared. And it's up to you to figure out why. Why you're scared. What you're scared of. And face that shit. Because if you don't do it, no one else is going to do it. I just had to get that out. I really had to get that out. And I know someone needs to hear this message. And you know what? I am so tired of going after the masses. And I am ready to step up and be here for those specific individuals who need to hear these messages. We're doing it together. I think I was notorious for wanting to people please. So I was constantly doing everything outside of what felt good for me in order to please everyone, because if one person wasn't satisfied, I felt like I wasn't doing something right. That's because I didn't know my worth and I didn't know my value and I didn't even know who the fuck I was to even know what I wanted to do. So everyone else's opinions ruled how I chose to take action. Not my own, but theirs. So you have to decide and you have to choose what it is that you want. Who you want to reach. And it can't be everybody, because not everybody is going to receive you, but the people that will, that is who matters. It could be 2 people out of the hundreds of thousands that follow me on all platforms, and that would be enough for me. And that is something that I am learning every single day, and I am valuing more than I have ever valued. Taking the time to interact with the people who actually want to hear me. The people who choose to care about me. Not the people who just tolerate my existence because they see me post and they just want to see what I'm up to. No, the people who want to really get to know me. The people who want to strive for more in their lives. Because we're on similar paths. Those are the people I'm speaking to. And you could say that I am helping you. And if this message resonates, I am so happy. And I'm also speaking to myself because this is a very current lesson I am undergoing and working through every day. And like I said, I tend to speak and help people with lessons that I am currently working on because it makes it that much more relevant and I get that much more passionate about it because I am on that exact same level. We are one and the fucking same. I am not higher than anybody else. I just choose to show up and do more work than a lot of other people, and I want to share that just to help those people that choose to make a difference for themselves too. So that was it. that was the message. Now I want you, whomever you are, to get a journal, something, and start taking time for yourself and really sit with yourself. Learn how to be still. And stop looking at social media. Delete that shit for like a week and see if your life doesn't change. And you need to decide what you want for your life, what you want from your life, who you want to be. What are the things you still need to learn in order to get to where you want to go? Are you even open to receiving, or are you closed off? You have to ask yourself, if you look around right now, are you where you want to be? Are you environmentally? Are you in the house that you want to live in? Do you have the car that you want to drive? Do you have the friends supporting you that you want? Do you have the job that you ideally would love to have for the rest of your life? Like, if not, these are things that you need to decide for yourself. What do you want? And that's what you're working towards every single day. And you need to fill your time with things that help you achieve that. Because if you don't, it's going to be 1 year and 2 years and 3 years and 4 and then 10 and then 15. And you're going to look back and you're going to be fucking 35, 40 even. Maybe not. And you're still not going to be where you want to be. And you're still not going to do what you want to do. But I bet had you done just one thing, 1% of something every single day, that you would look back in a year's time and say, how the hell did I get here? And you'd applaud yourself and you wouldn't even probably recognize who you are. That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I am doing every day now. Because I've decided I'm ready to step up and be that leader that I always envisioned myself being. I don't have time to fucking be anything other than that. I really don't. I don't have the time to give all of my energy to a corporation that doesn't give a shit about me. I don't have time to not help people because I bring value. And it's me that I have to face in that situation. No one else but me. And if I get out of my own way, there isn't any resistance. Because the world isn't looking at you the way that you think that they are. And if they are, they're fucking either jealous and envious, or they're admiring you because they wish they could show up the way that they see you showing up. And that's just that. And that's, I mean, social media has just made fucking the world think that people are places that they're not, and it's turning everybody into a psychological case, a psychological mess even. And instead of taking action, we're just stuck in our brains, fighting our own demons, our own battles, no one else's but our own. Because we're using our eyes and physically seeing these things and making up stories about them that we're telling ourselves. And if you don't have a grip on who you are, you're going to keep telling yourself a lie. And then that lie is going to become your truth. Because that's what you decided you wanted. So today, if this is resonating, this is your sign to decide. I decided. So, yeah.